All right, guys, welcome to A's TV. Kelsey Wright Johnson here, joined by Ryan Greco. A little bit of a different setup we've got here, Ryan. We're down low in the action. The A's are taking on the Halifax Hurricanes, the defending champions. Right now, they are 15-3. Sorry, the Orangeville A's are 7-9. So this matchup could break a 3-game losing streak for the A's.
Yeah, this is definitely a game that's a real do or die or character test for this team. You're coming in one of the top teams in the league. When you add in the fact as well, the Halifax Hurricanes also ranked the best defense in the league. Orangeville's going to have a tough time, just like they did last time they faced off against this team, only able to put up 82 points on the board. And so that challenge is still going to be here, as we're facing pretty much the same roster that the Orangeville A's faced earlier this season.
All right, Ryan, I'm going to talk to Captain Rick Bodiford now. Let's see what he feels going into this game, knowing that they've lost 3. They're going against the defending national champions, the best defensive team in the league. Stay tuned.
Talk to you soon.
Rick, you played this team in January. You've gotten a lot of new players, though. So what are players like Alex Johnson, Stefan Nastich going to do for your team this game?
It helps us a lot. It helps us out a lot because our point guard is kind of battling injuries right now. So Alex can step up and play the starting point guard spot and run the show. And Steph, we didn't have a true big man last time we played him, so we have a force down low. So it should be an interesting matchup.
This is the second of 3 games in a row for you this weekend. You've got a ton of injuries. What's the mentality going into this one?
One man down, next man step up. That's the part of the grind of the season. So when somebody gets hurt, the next man behind them got to step up and play just as big as them.
All right, you guys are on a 3-game losing streak right now. What are the 3 main keys to beating this Halifax team?
Defense and rebound.
2, even better, simpler. All right, good luck, Rick. Welcome back to A's TV. Now, if you're just tuning in, the Orangeville A's are taking on the defending champions here in the NBL Canada League, the Halifax Hurricanes. Right now, the Hurricanes sit at a 15-3 record. The Orangeville A's just 7-9 after a 3-game losing streak earlier just this week, Ryan.
Yes, absolutely, Kelsey. This has been a tough stretch for the Orangeville A's after getting off on the right foot, getting up one game above 500. They just haven't been able to find a way to stay consistent throughout this season. It's been a recurring challenge for them, but the good news is, unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately in the Central Conference, it's been a weak year with the exception of the London Lightning, so they still find themselves in the top half of the division and still in good standings in the playoffs. But once again, this is going to be a huge test for the Orangeville A's, especially down a couple of key players, Kelsey.
So they took those losses to KW Windsor and London just last night, and now today, Ryan, like you were saying, Justin Moss is out, as well as Anthony Harris, so 2 starters. So making the starting lineup today for the A's, Rick Bodiford, of course. Alex Johnson has really stepped up in the absence of Harris, as well as Daniel Tulloch, Hollis Jefferson, who's probably one of those guys that we're going to have to watch out for in this game, and Stefan Nastich making his way into the starting lineup. You can see here, if you're watching at home, everybody is standing in at the Institute right now. Ryan, when do they sit down?
They only sit down when Orangeville scores their first bucket of the game.
There you go, you get a good look at the stands. And now we mentioned earlier, this Halifax team is the defending champions. Also the year before, they came in second after kind of defaulting that final game. And there is 5 players from that second team and 4 players from the team last year that won the championship, and nobody's injured.
No, absolutely not. And this very healthy team ready to go on the road. And they're a tough team to beat. There's Stefan Nastich, though. Getting nasty out there in the paint. And they're going to need to be seeing a lot of that from the Orangeville A's in this game. Once again, one thing to keep in mind if you're watching at home is Orangeville, they have made a season out of getting to the line. Number 2 in the league in free throw percentage, shooting over 73% as a team.
You know, the thing that kind of stood out to me, watching these 2 teams match up earlier in the season, January 8th, where the Halifax won 108-82. The Orangeville A's shot only 36% from the foul line compared to Halifax's 46%. And now, Ryan, they're shooting almost 80%.
Shooting almost 80%, doing as well as they are. Another issue that we had with the Orangeville A's in that game was poor shooting from the 3-point line. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that guys
13%, Ryan.
Exactly.
You say bad, but like you need to specify 13% as the first 2 points go on the board from Nastich.
Nastich, we're going to need to see a lot of that from him in the paint, working hard, getting easy trips to the line for the Orangeville A's to keep pace with this well-oiled machine that is the Halifax Hurricanes. How well-oiled? Their leading player is 16 points per game.
Here's Washington from 3. That one, they take the lead now, 3-2. An early lead for the Halifax Hurricanes. Here's Bodiford, drives middle, goes up, off the glass, no good. And a big board there by Halifax.
You see a bunch of blue shirts there to challenge Bodiford at the rim. Great defense.
Clinkscale over to Mason. Mason goes up for the 3. That foul is going to go to Alex Johnson of the A's. Clinkscale going to have 3 shots now at the charity stripe.
That's one that Johnson's definitely going to want back there as he was colliding with the player going up for that 3. Mason now going to the line is going to get 3 shots. That's just one thing that's going to drive you crazy as a coach when you see your defenders give up foul shots like that.
Mason is one of the 6 New York natives on this Halifax team, comes from Queens. He played in Niagara. That's where people are going to most know him. He averaged 25.6 points in his 3rd year there, transferred to Auburn where he graduated. And you know, Ryan, he is the son of the late, great NBA's Anthony Mason, who was a 2001 NBA All-Star.
Mason, very talented player in the league, and his son putting up some good work so far this season with the Halifax Hurricanes.
There he is, the Halifax Hurricanes now. I almost want to say Rain Men, but they changed it. It's 5-2 now, just under 11 minutes left to go. Here's Jefferson up top. Picks up his dribble now over to Tulloch. Hands it off right back to Jefferson. Looks to drive baseline, pulls up for the long 2. Just rims out Tulloch with his first of many rebounds so far in this game, I'm sure.
Huge offensive board there for Tulloch. This is a big moment for him getting an opportunity in the starting lineup.
Tulloch from the 3, the big man right off the back of the rim as Ty Watson and Stefan Nastich go down together.
2 very big men there falling to the floor, Kelsey.
Here's Ty Watson, the former Orangeville A, just played on the A's last year. He was part of that 2nd place Hurricanes team the year before, however. now from the corner. Number 23, Billy White of the Halifax Hurricanes.
Billy White getting it done on offense here. Great drive to the basket.
Alex Johnson out to Nastich from the three.
That's a huge shot from Nasty right there. Stefan Nastich, feet set, ready to receive the ball, effortless release. That's the shot you want to find him on the three-point line.
Here's Billy White now backing down the Orangeville A's. Swings it all the way back over to Washington. Now Washington, he's going to step out of bounds before he drives. It's Orangeville ball on the sideline.
And Kelsey, you've been out here a few times. You can see how big this court is, but it's a testament to just the size of these athletes that they can set up at the three-point line, and they're so long that they can step out, and they're actually out of bounds off of their first step. It's absolutely incredible, the speed and explosion of these players.
The Orangeville A's, the last two possessions, have seen the big man taking the long shots. Now it's a guard going all the way. Rick Bodiford misses, gets his own tap in. That one won't fall, however. Billy White down with it. Here's Clinkscale now on the other end. He's going to slow it down for Halifax. 17 seconds on the shot clock.
I have to say, Kelsey, very quickly, Orangeville offense, I'm liking the fact that they're attacking the basket. They're not giving up easy mid-range jumpers. That's what got them into a lot of trouble last game.
A beautiful move there by C.J. Washington. He gets that and one to fall. He's going to go to the line now for one more.
C.J. Washington, 14 points, 11 rebounds last time he met up here in Orangeville against the A's.
He's averaging just over 15 points this season. So to start off with an and one for him is not a bad start in this game for him. The University of Alabama at Birmingham graduate in his fourth year there, averaged 6.7 points, 3.7 rebounds.
So you're saying there's an improvement.
Here's Willier Jefferson. Up to Johnson. Johnson comes off the screen for Nastich. Back over now to Jefferson. He drives. Great steal there by Ty Watson as Billy White finds Mason down low. Great defense by Tulloch. It goes right out of bounds. Orangeville ball baseline.
Tulloch is a big man there, as you can see, set his feet perfectly, took the contact, and the referees recognize that. If the offensive player is the one that's initiating the contact, that's rarely ever a foul.
Johnson up top for the A's. Gets it to Nastich. The two players that Halifax hasn't seen having a two-man game right now as he drives middle, gets it up and under off the glass for 2 points. On the other end, though, Ty Watson goes up. The strong body just cannot be defended by Rick Bodiford. He picks up his first foul of the game.
And that's something we're going to need to see consistently, Kelsey, is Orangeville, that hurry-up offense. They also got to get down the court on defense just as quickly. As you can see, Halifax, it literally took them 2 steps there as Johnson drives to the basket here. Great finish at the rim.
In the last game against London, the Orangeville A's, Alex Johnson had 12 points, Ryan. He's really stepped up in the absence of Anthony Harris, the starting point guard.
Well said, well said. Johnson showing off his Superman ability there with that layup. Incredible the height that he can get off of these jumps.
Here's Johnson now once again off screen from Nastich. Looks to find Nastich, but Halifax almost steals it. Orangeville gets it right back. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Nastich cleans it up underneath.
Great find by Nastich there. Johnson trying to put it up for Jefferson, trying to get their leading scorer going, but Halifax having none of it. Luckily, Nastich was there to pick up the pieces.
They get it in now to Washington. Washington pulls up for the mid-range jumpy. It's nothing but net.
That is a tough shot there, Kelsey. To hit that over a true 7-footer, you've got to have some skills.
Here's Bodiford now once again. Goes up. That foul is going to go to Cliff Clinkscale, and that is not on the shot, but it is going to be on the ground here. We're going to take another look at this one. Here's, oh, no, we're not.
A very impressive shot there, though. Made just to make that shot over a fully extended 7-footer is nothing short of impressive.
Rick Bodiford here on the sideline now as Clinkscale gets his first personal foul. Just under 8 minutes left to go as Alex Johnson is in that one position now for the Orangeville A's. Finds Nastich up top. Nastich, a little pump fake, pulls up at the foul line just short.
If you see Nastich there, when he went for that raise on that pump fake, he kind of hesitated to go left before finally deciding to go right. And it's that little bit of hesitation that allowed Halifax to regain the man.
Here's Mason now on the right-hand side. Makes it look easy off the glass for 2 points.
again, Mason showing off that offensive capability, and Halifax not wasting any time on the shot clock, going right to the rim.
Nastich finds himself open up top once again, passes it off to Johnson. Johnson pulls up from the high school three. That one's worth 2, brings the Orangeville A's now to 11. Here's Klingscale. The DePaul Blue Devil alumni gets it over now to Billy White. White over to Watson. Watson, familiar in this gym, kicks it out. That one, a 3 for CJ Washington.
That's one thing. This is a good timeout here by Coach Lazowski. You cannot allow Halifax to get rolling offensively like that. Nothing short of an impressive display. Absolutely, as we take a look here.
Sorry, that one was actually just a 2. It looked like the ref is saying his toe was on the line, so it's going to be just 19 to 11 now heading into this timeout. Welcome back now to A's TV. 6 minutes, 34 seconds left to go in this first period. The score right now, Halifax leads the way 19-11 over the Orangeville A's here at Athlete Institute in Orangeville. It is the A's ball. Bringing it up now is Alex Johnson. He really matches well today, Ryan. The pink socks, the pink jersey, got a little bit of pink on his shoes. Johnson gets it over to Nastich. Nastich looking to back down Klingscale, the point guard on the other team. That's going to be a foul on number 23, Billy White. Can't even really protest that one, Ryan. It was pretty obvious in the back there. Nastich has gone 2 for 2 so far in this game. He'll look to complete this play here on the foul line.
Absolutely, and Klingscale's looking for a traveling call there. Thought that Nastich had hesitated his feet, shuffled them a little bit before he started dribbling. But if the ref didn't see it, then it's legal, as Nastich knocks down the first one.
Nastich had quite the night last night against the London Lightning, 16 points, 12 rebounds, a double-double, and a double-double that is not just 10 and 10, 16 and 12 for the 7-footer on the A's. Here's Klingscale now up top. Comes off a screen, gets it back over to CJ Washington. Klingscale gets Johnson on his feet, tries to pass it through. Billy White from the 3, just off the back rim. Jefferson picks up the board.
Great defensive effort there by the A's. Let's see if they can convert now on the offensive end.
Jefferson drives, dishes it into Daniel Tulloch. The York graduate sinks it for 2 points.
Daniel Tulloch's going to need to be a focal point on this offense right now. Just get those buckets whenever he can.
Great defense there by the A's. Just caught 1 step too short as CJ Washington will head to the line now for 2 shots.
Kelsey, how fast is this Halifax offense, though? These are guys, you don't see any hesitation in any of their moves whatsoever. Every guy, as soon as they get the ball, they know what they're going to be doing with it. And it's very impressive to watch.
Couple substitutions for this fast team now for the Halifax Hurricanes. Joey Haywood comes on, as well as Mike Poole. Mike Poole has been one of the best players so far, scorers, for this Halifax team. Last time these two teams matched up, Poole had 20 points. In their last game, Halifax's last game against KW. They won it 102-100. That was February 17th. Poole, again, had 18 points in that game.
Very impressive output, no doubt about that.
Orangeville ball now on the baseline, 21-15, just over 5.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Couple substitutions here for the Orangeville A's as well. Jake Anderson and Jamison Tipping. You can see here, he comes in and he's hot right from the beginning. That three is his spot as he sinks a three-pointer to bring it to 18 now for the A's.
3-point deficit now here. Jamison Tipping, but then right next after gets called for the foul there. Got caught with a little bit of a grab as...
yeah, he's going to be called for the holding foul on Mike Poole. He's got a pretty big defensive effort there. I mean, defending someone like Mike Poole. So, I mean, keeping him close is not a bad idea. He just did it right in front of the referee. So it's going to be Halifax ball on the sideline.
As the old saying goes, it's not illegal if the refs don't see it, but that time it was clear as day.
Haywood now over to Poole. Poole out to Mason. Mason off the glass. That one doesn't fall as Nastich brings it down. Alex Johnson over to Tipping. Tipping looks at drive middle, gets it back out to Johnson. Johnson gets his defender in the air, and Mason will be charged with the blocking foul.
Great decision there by Johnson with the pump fake. As soon as he sees his defender leave the ground, he knows attack, attack, attack. And that time he got rewarded with a foul. And Orangeville's going to need every single one that they can get, especially if it can put them in the bonus and really puts them towards their strength, which is the free throw line and getting free buckets. It's what they do best.
Under 5 minutes left to go now in the first. Here's Anderson off a screen from Scales. It's going to be an offensive foul there on Paris Scales, his first of the game.
Once again, that's a recurring theme we've kind of seen so far this season from Alex Johnson. He has had this issue sometimes of not allowing his teammate to get fully set before he breaks off of the screen. And unfortunately, that time he got caught.
Ty Watson drives. Paris is going to get his second foul now. That basket is good, and Ty Watson will go to the line now for one shot. Anyone watching here, this A's TV broadcast recognizes Ty Watson from last year. He did play with the Orangeville A's where he averaged 16.8 points last year. He is a New Mexico State alumni where he averaged 10 points, 4.8 rebounds, but now back with the Halifax Hurricanes. It was actually his first team that he played for in the NBL as well.
That's right, Tyrone Watson, Hamilton native, as we watch Nastich working now.
Against two guys up and over, but the rebound will go to Tyrone Watson. Nastich now on the floor fighting for the possession. That one breaks loose. It's going to be Orangeville A's ball.
And that's the hustle and effort you're going to need to see the entire night here, or excuse me, the entire afternoon here in Orangeville from the A's. They know they're in a dogfight facing what is the best team in the league right now, the best defense in the league, hands down.
Yeah, the Halifax Hurricanes have only lost 3 games, and to no games have they lost to anybody in the Central Division, here in the NBL Canada League.
And even every loss has been right down to the wire.
Jamison Tipping chucks one up again from beyond the 3. That one, no good. It's going to be tipped, however, though. It's going to stay with Orangeville after being tipped by the defender. Shot clock right now says 24, but it's going to be changed. Looks like there was 1 second on it before Jamison Tipping left that one go.
Very, still once again, that impressive defense.
It's going to move to 18 seconds on the shot clock now here. Jake Anderson bringing it out for this Orangeville A's team. Gets it to Relier Jefferson. Jefferson puts it up. It just rattles out.
Jefferson, tough start to the game so far. Halifax doing a great job isolating him and making him work for every single shot.
Mike Poole over to CJ Washington. He spots up a deep 3. It should be worth 3.5, Ryan, but they're only going to give him 3 for that one. Brings his team now to 27 with under 4 minutes left to go in the first.
Halifax, a very impressive 77% from the field so far in this first quarter.
Tipping launches once again. That one, no good. Haywood brings it down now, gets it over to Mike Poole. Poole to Watson, swings it to Washington. He drives middle, goes up and under, no good. Tipping with the board.
It's a big stop there for the Orangeville A's. Just enough contact to let that one rim out.
Here's Jake Anderson, right down the middle, no good. As Slim McGee gets that ball just ripped from his hands in the rebound.
This Halifax team, they're just relentless, backing up and down the floor.
That one goes to Antoine Mason. Here's Jake Anderson for the Orangeville A's, waiting for a screen. picks up his dribble, gets it over to Tipping. Tipping drives middle, a little step back. That one is good. That's going to be a goaltending call. And now, that one, 2 points will be counted to the Orangeville A's.
Let's take a look at that replay.
Yeah, take
Let's take
another look at that. Jamison Tipping drives middle, puts it up into the basket. It's just knocked out. But that one was going in anyway, so it's going to be a goaltending call, good for 2 points.
Poole was trying to say that McGee was the one that actually tipped it out there, but the referee says play on, count the basket. We'll never tell.
Here's Slim McGee now. Drives middle with those long arms, able to put it up, but doesn't fall on the other end. Haywood going 100 miles an hour, gets it out to Mike Poole now. Poole from the top. No good.
That's one of those two wide open there, Kelsey, at the top of the key there.
A little too much time to think.
That's right.
We're approaching the 2-minute mark now here in the first quarter. Here's Jamison Tipping. Over to Jefferson. Jefferson pulls up for the mid-range jumper. Nothing but air on that one as Mason gets it into Tyrone Watson. It's knocked out of bounds. It's going to go Halifax way, though. A substitution for both teams. For the Halifax Hurricanes, Ronaldo Dixon comes in, and Daniel Tulloch for the Orangeville A's makes his way back in. Another late substitution for the Halifax team is Taquan Zimmerman.
I see one thing we're noticing here, the Halifax staying true to their characteristics on defense. Relier Hollis Jefferson, the leading scorer for the Orangeville A's, is currently 0 for 3 from the field with an air ball. They're just all over him so far in this first quarter.
Haywood nails it in from the glass. Tipping playing the one right now. Over to Anderson. Anderson drives, finds himself open on the elbow. That one is good for 2.
That's it, just work off the screen, get yourself an open shot whenever you can. Be comfortable with it. The A's are only going to get so many of those in a game.
Mike Poole called with the traveling violation. A quick little step before he was able to put that ball on the ground, Ryan. You hate that.
I absolutely detest it. You got to dribble, then step, or at the very least, dribble and step at the same time. No step first. This is not the NBA. Can't get away with those.
Relier Jefferson finds himself open. That one, good. Coach calling for the traveling violation. You can see him at the bottom of your screen there, but that one is good because he caught the ball after he took those little steps.
Yes, absolutely there. You can see. And once again, though, but that's Hollis Jefferson. That's his money right there. Running off a screen, get the open jump shot. Halifax doing a great job denying the paint, though, so far.
Big shot there by Mike Poole. That one a little long. 41 seconds left to go now in the first. Here's Anderson up top, looking to drive middle, dishes it out to Jefferson. He launches from beyond the arc, no good. Mike Poole surprising everyone with how fast he is, and the charging foul is going to be earned by the Orangeville A's Relier Jefferson. At the line now is Mike Poole. Poole, another Queens, New York native. They have about 6 on their team. He went to Rutgers for 3 years where he averaged 4.3 points. Then he moved on to Iona where he averaged 6 points and 4 rebounds per game. On this team, however, averaging over 16 points, or he's averaging, 13 points per game this season. But versus this team, again, he had 20 points last time they matched up. And in the last game here in Ontario in the Central Division had 18 points. Jamison Tipping grabs that board. A big board right now, too, because there's about a 0.9 difference between the shot clock and the game clock. So this could be the last possession here for the Orangeville A's. Relier Jefferson up top. A beautiful spin move. He's going to be called with the traveling violation as Halifax takes possession now on the sideline with 2.8 seconds left to go in the first. You can see there, just one too many steps.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a move a lot of players struggle with. Shot goes up. Oh, good. Almost looked like it from this angle, Kelsey.
Mike Poole puts it up. That one is no good. Jefferson still arguing at half court saying, I don't think that was a travel. He's actually doing the spin move on the referee there. Guys, at the end of the first quarter, the Halifax Hurricanes lead the way 32-24 over the Orangeville A's.
Very impressive game so far. Let's see what the second quarter has in store for us.
All right, guys, enjoy the performance now of the Lady A's. TV. At the end of the first, it was 32-24 for the Halifax Hurricanes as Dixon chucks another 3 points onto the Halifax total. And another one, Mike Poole, a quick steal underneath. Grabs another 2 points now for this Halifax team. Orangeville having a hard time even getting it into the court, Ryan.
And once again, Halifax playing a lot of that New York City basketball where a lot of these guys hail from. Just attack, attack, attack at the rim every chance they get.
Daniel Tulloch finds himself open, goes all the way on the left-hand side, off the glass for 2, and he will go to the charity stripe now for 1 more.
That was a very impressive take by Tulloch here, as you can see the setup. Find the open man, off the screen, up into the basket, Tulloch.
He's so good at protecting the ball with his body as he goes up. The big man from York University. His last season there averaged 6.7 points and 4.3 rebounds, now averaging more playing professionally.
Absolutely, and there's McGee though. Lucky lefty missing it there. Got to be able to finish those against a team like Halifax.
Mike Poole from beyond the arc. He's been hot so far. That one a little cold as Jefferson comes down with the board.
That's one thing you notice, Kelsey, is guys, they tend to miss a little bit when they try and bring it back themselves, but if they're catching it off a swing, forget about it. It's money every time.
Slim McGee with a beautiful hook shot. That one good for 2.
McGee showing off the offensive touch a little bit, but we've seen him capable of that from time and again, Kelsey. You give him enough minutes, you'll see some special things out of the kid out of Mississippi.
Zimmerman over to Poole. Poole now on the wing. Gets it back to Zimmerman. 6 seconds on the shot clock. He pulls it. That one, no good. Anderson now, no numbers. He's going 1 against 4. Isn't able to put it in. Jamison Tipping, Slim McGee, and Jake Anderson now coming back. It's a 3-on-2 coming back the other way. Poole misses it, but it's cleaned up by some other players on Halifax. There's going to be a foul there on Slim McGee.
Only thing there, Kelsey, unfortunately, the Orangeville A's not doing a very good job of getting back on defense, but it's difficult to do that when you go as hard as you do towards the opponent's basket there in that previous play. It gave Halifax extra time to play with the extra man, find the open man, get under the rim, and eventually get the foul. Luckily, Orangeville playing tough enough defense that they weren't allowing the shot to go up.
That foul eventually did go to, Daniel Tulloch on Anthony Cox. Ryan, we talked a little bit about Anthony Cox at the break, just you and me. He played with the Harlem Globetrotters for 5 years before coming here to the Halifax Hurricanes.
He knows what it's like to play against talent and play with talent, and those two things are just as important as the other.
I just want to ask him to do tricks after the game. Win or lose here, this is what I'm here for. Jamison Tipping goes up. He's going to get the foul. That one goes to number 22, Ronaldo Dixon.
Kelsey's true intentions have been shown here, as you see on this broadcast. She's just a Globetrotters fan, folks.
I've just been waiting for one of the players in the NBL Canada League to finally come from the Globetrotters organization. Today's the day. Here's Stefan Nastic. Turns around, it just rims out.
That's some excellent defense there by Ronaldo Dixon, the Canadian.
Zimmerman now up top, gets it back over to Poole. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Poole over to Cox now. The Harlem Globetrotter goes on the right-hand side off the glass, and it is good.
Fortunately, Orangeville cannot allow that to happen. 2 defenders in his way. He gets by both for a bucket, almost untouched. I'm sure Coach Lazowski's not happy about that one.
Jefferson saves it from going right out of bounds. Tries to find an open Tulloch. Would have been a great pass with a little bit more of a spin. Goes right past Tulloch into the hands of the Hurricanes. Now here's Mike Poole up top. He's going to be called with the carry.
It looks like he had the
crossover there. Crossover there called with the carry. It looks like a little bit too much Velcro on that ball.
Just a little bit too much. And Kelsey, we've dribbled these basketballs before. First of all, they're red, which is, I find, interesting on its own. But when you look at just how well the ball sticks to your hand when you're dribbling with that Spalding basketball, it's a miracle that you don't get more carry calls in this league.
Rick Bodiford now back into the game. He's got the ball up top. Guarded closely by number 15, Kareem Canty, excuse me. Here's Tipping now. From the 2, had his toe on the line. That one is good.
That is just a veteran move right there by Tipping. Just being comfortable enough in his own skin, his own form, that he can let it off like that. And just full extension. Excellent shot there from the Orangeville native.
Canty now up top for the Halifax Hurricanes. Comes off a screen from the Globetrotter. Right into the hands of Bodiford. Great veteran move there. We talk about them. Jamison Tipping gets it over to Bodiford a little too long. That one goes right out of bounds. Both guys saying it was their own fault.
Well, absolutely there. You look at that Bodiford just taking a little bit of unnecessary contact from his opponent. That's pretty much what kept him a step behind the ball when he went to the roll there. Excellent vision by Tipping. Just an unfortunate series of events moving down the floor.
Zimmerman gets it out and now tries to get it into number 22, Ronaldo Dixon, but he was held by Daniel Tulloch. That one is going to be a foul.
Once again, you want to try and limit the fouls and mistakes.
Couple starters now coming back onto the floor for both teams. Tyrone Watson making his way on for Halifax, and Alex Superman Johnson for the Orangeville A's. Zimmerman will take it out, excuse me, Ryan, for the Halifax Hurricanes. Canty drives a floater down the middle over all those big tree trunks down there. The smallest guy on the floor able to sink it. On the other end, here's Rick Bodiford, kicks it out. Jefferson finds a wide open Tulloch. Tulloch goes for the dunk, and that foul is going to go to Anthony Cox.
That looked more of a body foul there. As we take another look at that, you see the find right here. Excellent ball movement there, making something out of nothing. And then there's Tulloch trying to go for the highlight. And
that
it looks
York
like,
U grad wanted that
oh
dunk.
Yeah, definitely wanted it, but it looked like there was a bit of body contact there because from our angle, it was a clean block. It just looks like he got shoved in midair.
Daniel Tulloch, when he was at school, did miss an entire season due to an injury, but he is back and better than ever now. Unfortunately, missed that foul shot here for the Orangeville A's. They trail 10 points. Just under 8 minutes left to go in the first half. Canty over to Dixon. Dixon launches from 3. This team has been hot from beyond the arc here tonight.
That's a play we've seen consistently now in this first half, is a move off the screen, kick it back up top. Guys got a wide open look. You just can't allow that if you're the Orangeville A's. Great find there, though.
Stefan Nastic.
Getting nasty in the paint there. Excellent move. As Orangeville tries to keep pace here in the final 7.5 minutes of this half, find themselves down by 11.
You don't want to go into the half with any more of a deficit than that, Ryan. As Dixon launches another 3. You know, it's hard enough to have those hot shooting nights for any team, but now they're away, their second game away from home. No practices in between. They just played on February 17th, and you know what? It's not showing.
Not at all. They're just playing right now. They're just balling. As you can see.
There's going to be a foul on Anthony Cox, is charged with his second foul so far in this game. He's got a handful covering Stefan Nastich.
Absolutely. I mean, Nastich, big guy, smart guy, Stanford University grad, knows how to get his body around and get his way in the paint if he needs to.
You can see there, number 22, Paris Scales makes his way back onto the floor for the Orangeville A's as Alex Johnson finds Rick Bodiford from the 3. Bodiford way off on that one, but there is going to be a foul on the floor.
I think it's going to be on Nastich.
Yep, Nastich is going to be called with a push over the back foul. It used to be called. He's called with a push now underneath, and it's going to be Halifax ball on the baseline. Dixon will take it out.
Ronaldo Dixon, I mean, what a shooting display he's had in this second quarter here. But once again, that goes back to this team just being so comfortable with each other, moving the ball around so effortlessly.
You know what it is? Dixon is playing now in front of kind of a hometown crowd. He's a Toronto native. He's just putting on a show for his friends and family. There he goes once again. Up and under, off the glass again for 2 points.
Are you sure he doesn't have a mic in his ear or a bug in his ear where he can hear us?
Nastich from 3, rims out. Dixon, just a highlight reel night for him here as he picks up the rebound. Zimmerman now out to Cox, back to Dixon. Can he do it? 3 in a row is no good for him. That one just short. Here's Paris Scales now, 1-on-1 against number 15, Kareem Canty. A good foul by Canty.
Very good foul by Canty and a very good look by Bodiford. The importance, kids at home, when you see that rebound and you get the rebound, first thing you should be doing more than anything, before even possibly dribbling, is keeping your head up, making sure you see where the options are on all the floor, because you never know. You might have an opportunity for a quick bucket there, as Bodiford did on the pass to Scales.
Scales can't connect from the charity stripe right now. Ryan, there are some Halifax fans here in Athlete Institute today, and we don't often see a lot of away fans here, but hey, Halifax came from far, and so did their fans tonight.
Absolutely, and as you said, Kelsey, there's a couple of guys on this team and a lot of guys in the league in the NBL who, anytime they come to Orangeville, it's almost like a homecoming, as you said, because so many of these players do originate from the greater Toronto area.
We got a Hamilton, we got a Toronto, and pretty much everyone else is New York, which is still not very far away compared to Halifax.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a doable trip, and it's really not that surprising when you see as many people kind of show up, and they all have a designated corner where they kind of just go out and they start shouting and cheering for their team, but they're just happy to see one of their own really make it to the professional level, and that's one of the reasons why the NBL is such a great thing for the development of basketball in this country.
Here's Zimmerman now, over to Cox. Cox back to Zimmerman, a little give and go, just long on the jump shot.
Great defense there by Orangeville. You got to stay in front of your man at every opportunity. Great switches, force the shot up.
Nice pass there by Alex Johnson, gets it into Nastich. Nastich now going to go to the charity stripe for 2. That foul goes to number 1, Tyrone Watson.
One thing I love about that from Alex Johnson there is once he created the separation, look
with
to
a
where
great crossover, by the way.
Absolutely, and you look to where he passed the ball. You saw the ball high on Nastich's hands, away from the defenders. They know he's 7 feet tall, so when he's already up there in that shooting form and he's got it high, the other team has no choice but to foul him or else give up an easy bucket.
All right, guys, a timeout has been called on the floor. We will be right back in 1 minute. Welcome back to A's TV. 5 minutes, 38 seconds left to go in the second period. The Orangeville A's are trailing 33-49 right now. The Halifax Hurricanes have just fouled Stefan Nastich. If you're just tuning in now, he'll be at the charity stripe now for 2.
Nastich doing well from the line here, but the Halifax Hurricanes actually kind of beating the A's at their own game here in the free throw percentage field, as the Hurricanes are currently sitting 90% as a team,
wow.
10 of 11, whereas the Orangeville A's, unfortunately, now just at 6 and 10. It's good for 60%. They've got to improve that moving forward.
Here's Canty now up top for the visiting team. He comes off a screen from Cox. Canty pulls up. No good. Dixon, another rebound for the Toronto native. Doubled now down low. Tries to get it out, but it's going to come to Alex. Superman Johnson puts it in for the 2 points.
Love seeing that, Kelsey. Fearless effort. Knew the defender was coming. Said, forget it. I'm going to go up anyway. Either he's going to foul me or I'm getting the bucket.
I love that it wasn't too fancy. He knows that he needs buckets right now and not highlight reels.
Absolutely.
Dixon now over to Kareem Canty. Canty misses it. Now Relier Jefferson drives, dishes out to Nastich. He finds himself open beyond the arc once again. There he is. Kicks it out to Bodiford. Bodiford, one of the best shooters on the A's, just a centimeter too strong.
I'm liking the availability of that shot. Unfortunately, the A's, as open as those looks are, they are not necessarily a fantastic three-point shooting team.
Here's Cox underneath. Gets it out to Dixon. Drive, a little Kobe fadeaway is good for Dixon.
It's a lost art, Kelsey. Having that move in your back pocket there, you can get your shot off almost over anybody, especially if you're the height Dixon is.
Nastich over to Bodiford. Bodiford pulls up from the high school too. That one just short. Canty rebounds.
Fortunately, A's going on a bit of a shooting slump right now, settling for mid-range jumpers.
Dixon, can he do it again? That one short. Bodiford with a massive rebound here. Looking to push it. Gets it up to Jefferson. Jefferson gonna slow it down now. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Out to Nastich, just short.
3 straight missed shots here for the Orangeville A's. They gotta try something a little bit different here, consistently settling for those outside shots.
Here's Anthony Cox up top. Drives right down the middle, can't put it in, but it tries to get cleaned up there by Dixon, but there's gonna be a foul on Anthony Cox. Stefan Nastich.
Nastich playing a vital role here for the Orangeville A's, getting a few, hopefully at some point. We're looking back here for Johnson, just going back very quickly. Nothing fancy, as you said, Kelsey. Just attack the rim, get up there. And folks, if you ever get a chance to come out here in Orangeville and you watch him in the warm-ups, this is a guy who can throw it down. You see some self-alley-oops in those warm-ups. It's very impressive.
Well, I mean, he's a North Carolina State graduate, so I mean, he's had a wonderful career in basketball so far. He's also the guy who proposed to his girlfriend at a basketball game, so that video definitely went viral. Check it out if you haven't, because it will bring a tear to anyone's eye. Married now. So that was a while ago, but still one another. I'd put that on my demo reel if I'm him. Why not? It's basketball.
He's got a player with a heart.
Here we go. Nastich now at the line for 2. The Orangeville A's in bonus for the last 3 minutes, 25 seconds of this first half, as Rico DiLoretto comes on for the Orangeville A's. And if this one goes in, Slim McGee will make his way on for Nastich. That one is good. Here's McGee now coming on for the Orangeville A's. Last 3 minutes, 25 seconds left to go in the second period.
These Orangeville A's, tall task here, especially for the big men with Justin Moss out. A lot of big minutes for McGee in this one.
3 Canadians now on the floor just for the Orangeville A's.
To show the talent development in this league. This is proof of it right here. There's McGee.
Chuck there by Washington. That one no good. Now here's Alex Johnson going up and under. The small man able to put it off the glass for 2 points. Halifax coach not happy with the defense by CJ Washington. He charges out onto the floor to talk to him. Now under 3 minutes, excuse me, left to go in the game. The Halifax Hurricanes just trail now by 10 points. It was way more than that before. Check out this replay now. Here's the shot miss.
Some great defense there by Slim McGee. And then once again, even to build your point there, Kelsey, we were talking about the importance of them really locking down that defense, especially on the perimeter, not allowing them to get any easy shots off. Slim McGee, a guy who is actually known in college for nothing but blocking shots, a guy who actually set a record in his conference for block shots in a single season. And whenever we've seen him get legitimate minutes here in the NBL, whether it's been an injury to Justin Moss or an injury to any other big man, this is what we talked about, that the Orangeville A's were severely lacking last year. And I know not to beat a dead horse every broadcast, but the depth at the big man position here is so important for the Orangeville A's. It's a big reason why they're still within striking distance against the best team in the league.
And that will hurt now that Justin Moss is out, one of the leading scorer of their team nonetheless, one of the biggest big guys out there. And you know what, he got a new haircut recently. I feel like it makes him look even bigger, if that's possible. I don't know if he's been working out or if it's just the hair, but take a look at him, Ryan, when you see him on the bench. He looks bigger.
The sweater can always help, but you see the longer hair he's got kind of going on here. It's interesting to say the least.
All right, it's Halifax Hurricanes ball now on the baseline. Under 3 minutes left to go. They lead by 10.
There's Johnson trying to go for a quick steal, but to no avail. And Canty not appreciating that one. Gives him a little bit of a look as he moved up the court.
Dixon gets it into Watson. A familiar matchup here, Watson versus Tipping. A huge block by Raleigh Jefferson. He's gonna look coast to coast, and it's good on the left-hand side.
I'm okay with that move right there. He had a wide open Alex Johnson, but if you're the bigger man and you already know you got to step on one guy and you have that Euro step in your back pocket to finish at the rim, very impressive move.
And he had the momentum because he had just stolen that ball. He was feeling himself after that block. Canty pulls up from beyond the arc right in Johnson's face. It's good for 3 points.
And that's why this is the best team in the league right now record-wise, when guys can step up and hit shots like that.
Rico DiLoretto. Now in the hands of Alex Johnson. Johnson turns the corner. There's going to be a foul there on number 15, Kareem Canty. And again, Orangeville is in bonus, so Johnson will be shooting 2.
Once again, we talked before the game the importance of, as we're looking at Jefferson here. Excellent move, taking on 2 defenders, cuts by 1. Saw that his defender was going to gamble with that steal there, so all he had to do was just pick it up, protect the ball, Euro step over. Great finish.
Johnson misses the first one.
Once again, we talked before the broadcast about the importance of Orangeville and their shooting at the free throw line.
Not having their hottest night tonight. Again, this is the second of 3 games in a row that they have this weekend. So last night they played again, tomorrow they play. So not trying to conserve energy. I talked to Rick Botiford before the game. Anyone who was here and tuned in got to hear that one. Not conserving energy tonight. Want to beat this Halifax team, but still have to look forward for tomorrow against Niagara. Here's Canty now. Goes up. I don't even know what to call that shot, a jump shot, a hook shot kind of from the side, but anyway, it's good. Nothing but net for 2 points.
Such an impressive move there, Kelsey. You watch the depth of this team. Guys are just stepping up and hitting shots. Doesn't matter what the number is.
Slim McGee with a hook shot of his own. That one is no good. And the foul goes to the Halifax Hurricanes. Jamison Tipping is going to go to the line now for 2 shots. Canty is confused about why that's his foul. Still looking at his coach with his hands up. Jamison Tipping again at the line now for 2. Tipping went to Western Kentucky in 2009, transferred over to Brock University in 2012, where he averaged 16.8 points, 8.7 rebounds, and 2 assists per game.
He was a very busy man.
Tipping nails the first foul shot.
And that's another thing as well, of course. He's the one player on this team who's is born and raised in Orangeville, knows this community well, community knows him. Played his minor basketball here as well. And he's getting it done from the free throw line there for the Orangeville A's. Those are some much needed points going into the half.
10-point deficit now for the Orangeville A's as Zimmerman gets it off to Washington. Right back to Zimmerman, however, he comes off a screen. Kicks it out to Canty, 14 seconds on the shot clock. Over to Zimmerman once again, he chucks it up, that one no good. Jamison Tipping to Alex Johnson now. We're at the minute mark of the last minute of the quarter. Raleigh Jefferson from the corner is good for 3.
How fast was he at setting up for his shot? Feet set as soon as he got to the corner, catch release. So impressive, it almost automatic for Jefferson there.
Under a minute now, Zimmerman turns the corner, gets it all the way over to Canty on the other side, makes it look effortless for 3 points.
This is a recurring pattern now, Kelsey. We're seeing the Orangeville A's giving up the weak side for an open three. They just cannot allow that to happen.
Tipping looks to have the reverse layup, but on the other end, a little bit of a track meet here. Zimmerman tries to get it up to CJ Washington for an alley-oop, but it's right out of bounds. It's Orangeville ball on the baseline.
We're looking here in the corner. Jefferson working off the screen. Quick move. No one picked him up off that roll. Wide open shot. You cannot give him enough time to set himself up for that jump shot.
And by enough time, like 0.01 seconds. He knew he was shooting that one. Here he is up top now. Going to take the last possession. The shot clock says 10. This. A 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
Take your time.
Here's Jefferson. 5 on the shot clock. Drives. The turnaround jumper fade away. That foul goes to number 20, CJ Washington. And Relier Jefferson will go to the line now for 2 shots.
I really don't know what Washington was so upset about it. You can even kind of see it from here. There was some clear contact on the shooting hand. And sometimes that's all it takes. I mean, people who watch the NBA consistently could see Marcus Smart versus Jimmy Butler a few nights ago, where they called the foul at the end of the game just for lightly tapping his elbow. But that's all it takes to distract the shooter, and that's why it's called a foul, because you can almost knock a guy sideways, but if he's able to keep his shoulder square to the basket and his shooting arm is unaffected, he's going to be able to make that shot. But even if you just graze his arm, that can affect the shot.
2 seconds now. Canty puts it up. It's good if it goes. That one. No good. He's looking for the foul call. Not called. The Halifax Hurricanes lead the way now 59-51 over the Orangeville A's.
focused. We provide practical learning in and out of the classroom. We are chefs. We are programmers. We are community builders. We are technicians. We are entrepreneurs. We are Humber.
You've got your degree. Now take your education to the next level. At Humber College, our career-focused programs incorporate hands-on practical experience both in and out of the classroom, allowing you to get the experience employers are looking for.
coach of the Orangeville A's, here with me right now. You're trailing by 8 points to the defending national champs right now in this league. What did you say to your guys at halftime?
Well, they're good. They've made a lot of shots. We've got to do a better job at transition defense, of rotating, picking up shooters earlier. They made 7 or 10 threes, which we can't allow to have happen in the second half. But we've played well enough to stay in it. Now we've got to take it to another level.
Speaking of threes, you mentioned it. They're shooting 50% right now from beyond the arc. You guys only shooting 30%. Who are you going to need to key on in the second half?
It's tough to key on all of them. You know, we got to take away the first thing they want to do, and right now we haven't done a good enough job of doing that, and then making the other guys make some plays. We've got to let them have their first option, and so hopefully in the second half we're going to get back and be a little bit more physical on their ball screens and then attack the basket on offense.
Again, you're trailing just by 8. It's within reach, and you're playing your second game back in a row without Justin Moss, without Anthony Harris. Who's stepping up for you tonight?
I thought Stefan Nastich played great. Alex Johnson, Jamison really played well that first half. It's just a group effort. We can't worry about who's not here. We just got to worry about the ones that are and try to go get it done.
All right, good luck.
All right, welcome back here in Orangeville at the Athlete Institute. Of course, my name's Ryan Greco, taking care of your color commentary, being joined by the wonderfully talented Kelsey Wright Johnson.
All right, guys, so at the half, the Orangeville A's are just behind the defending national champions, the Halifax Hurricanes, 59-51, just an 8-point lead. Top scorers for the Halifax team, with leading the way right now with 15 points is CJ Washington. Right behind him with 13, Ronaldo Dixon, the Toronto native, has put on quite the show. And with 10, Kareem Canty. Moving on to the other side, the only player right now in double digits with 15 points is Stefan Nastich. And with 9, 9, and 9 is Relier Jefferson, Jamison Tipping, and Alex Johnson.
And one thing, Alex Johnson is going to be a huge part of this team moving forward here in this second half. A very, very talented guard, of course. This is a game with Anthony Harris out. He's going to be playing some major minutes for the Orangeville A's, especially in the second half. And one of the biggest concerns this team has been facing, especially so far this season, has been due to injuries. Fatigue has set in, especially when you're sitting at the point guard position. And only one true point guard on the roster right now, which is Alex Johnson. And eventually, at some point, there's going to be some other guys that are going to need to be able to step up in that position and make the right decisions on offense. But one thing Johnson himself is going to need to improve, and something he's been struggling with all season, is his free throw shooting. He's shooting only 61% from the line so far this year. And even today, if we're looking quickly at his numbers, he's only 1 for 2 from the free throw line. So if he is going to get to the line, he's got to make it count.
Johnson averages almost a double-double, 14 points, just under 10 assists per game. Once again, a true point guard. We talked just with Coach Lasovsky earlier in this broadcast. The Orangeville A's are shooting 30% from the three-point line, and the Halifax Hurricanes shooting 50% from the three-point line, Ryan. Everything else is pretty much equal. Points off bench, points in paint, assists, blocks, pretty much everything. That's where this is really making a difference here. They've hit 7 threes?
Absolutely. It's just been late rotations on defense, giving open shots available. Once again, as Jefferson gets called for the travel. And honestly, I'll be honest, I feel like guys should try and stay away from that spin move because I've seen so many travel calls this season, especially for Orangeville on that spin move.
He gets it back here, though, with the
There you
steal.
go.
Must hear you talking.
That's right.
As Alex Johnson throws it away. A turnover right into the hands of Halifax. Here's CJ Washington up on the left. It's good for 2.
Washington, people don't understand, that's an underrated bucket there to go up against the 7-footer, go into the body and finish at the rim is impressive.
Alex Johnson looks for the floater. That one's no good. Picked up by Daniel Tulloch, but it's knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Halifax ball on the baseline.
Unfortunately there, Tulloch showing that extra effort that's got him the starting spot today. He's going to need to keep pushing, though.
Billy White back in the lineup for the Halifax Hurricanes. We haven't seen him since the first quarter when he got into a little bit of foul trouble. The leading scorer and leading rebounder for this team right now. You can see why. Gets a bucket and a rebound just in that quick play.
Unfortunately there, Tulloch actually trying to reach up and knock the ball off the rim, which is a live ball in the NBL if you're listening at home.
Playing FIBA rules here, folks.
That's right. Unfortunately, just couldn't get it done there.
Relier Jefferson kicks it to Johnson. Johnson gets it in now to Nastich. He looks to turn the corner. Just can't get it over the big, strong body of Ty Watson.
And Ty Watson showing just how incredibly strong he can be.
Klingscale. It's good for 3. Add another three-pointer now onto the tally for this Halifax Hurricane team.
This team, they're just so deadly. Every single guy on the floor can knock down a 3 if they need to. What a backcourt, Kelsey.
Rick Bodiford over to Nastich. Nastich making it look easy from the paint.
And Nastich, he's going to need to be decisive every time he gets the ball, especially with plays like that rolling off of the screens. He's got to be able to attack the rim.
Ty Watson now kicks it out over to Washington. Washington, a rare miss for this visiting team.
You can see Washington thought about that one there. He kind of hesitated on his pull-up and then released a little bit too much. Air ball.
Here's Johnson now up top, 13 seconds on the shot clock, asking for a screen from Nastich. Turns the corner, finds the big man down low. He doesn't get it to fall, but he will get the foul. That one goes to CJ Washington. Klingscale and the coach here for the Halifax Hurricanes looking for the traveling call.
And it looks like Nastich, it really just comes down to the last second there. It looks like he's shuffling his feet either as he's getting the ball or just before he's getting it. I didn't see any such travel, Kelsey, did you?
I saw his feet going a little Fred Flintstone-y, yeah.
I didn't see a thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
He misses the first one here. He's got one more shot, 66-53. The Halifax Hurricanes have really had a great start to this third quarter.
Absolutely. It's Nastich here. It's a big bucket there. They're going to need to see more of that from him consistently throughout this game, making it 66-54 right now here in the third.
Here's White, drives baseline, gets it right into his teammate, chucks that one up. That one is no good from Washington. Alex Johnson comes down with it. They don't have numbers. He pulls it back out, gets it to Jefferson now. Jefferson looking to get it inside to Nastich. There's going to be a foul there on Billy White. Billy White comes right back to the bench. He knows that's going to be a substitution. He's already in foul trouble. That's his 4th personal foul, Ryan. In this league, you do get 6, but 4 this early in the third is no good.
No, absolutely not. White's just having a tough time here with Nastich. Nastich doing a great job moving off the body, using the angles, cutting down, creating some space on the inside. Here's Jefferson. No good on the shot there. Rebound. Halifax bringing it back up here, looking for an option. In the corner, Watson. Back out to White.
It's Klingscale now up top, comes off a screen, guarded by Rick Bodiford. A great pass down to Billy White. You can see why he's so dominant on this Halifax team.
Do you think he let out a little bit of frustration there on that dunk, Kelsey?
I'd say 1 or 2 little ounces.
What a throw down there.
Here's Bodiford now up top for the A's. Turns the corner, finds himself open at the elbow, rattles out as Nastich grabs that, tries to call a timeout, but you can't do that here in FIBA. It's going to be out of bounds. Halifax ball on the baseline.
You see here in the corner, working back out. Great find on the inside, late on rotation. White throws it down with the left hand, letting them know who's boss on that one. Now we've got Klingscale's doing a little bit of everything here.
Can we put him on the payroll, Klingscale? That'll be a quick $10 for him, right?
I would give him the $10.
You heard it here first. Here he is now, the point guard for the Halifax Hurricanes. Comes off a screen. Coming back the other way now, finds Tyrone Watson. Watson right into the hands of Jefferson with those long arms. Great defense by the home team. Goes right off the shoulder of Ty Watson. It's going to be Orangeville ball on the baseline.
Jefferson, people don't realize just how long his arms are. I mean, when he's standing straight up, his arms are almost down to his knees. Such an athletic player.
Here's Nastich now. Going against CJ Washington, making it look easy with a little hook shot.
I don't mind that offense there. If you're going to feed the big man, let him get some work in.
Cliff Klingscale now comes off a screen from Washington. Turns the corner up over Nastich. It's just short.
Nastich.
Jefferson, go ahead.
I was saying just great job there on the defensive end.
Rick Bodiford, that's usually his spot. He loves that corner. That one just doesn't fall.
This is not Bodiford's night. 0 for 8 from the field now at this point.
As there's another three here. That one this time by Mason.
Mason having some fun right now at the expense of the Orangeville A's. 15-point lead for the Hurricanes.
Alex Johnson looks to make it back. No good. Great defense there by the Halifax Hurricanes above the rim. Rick Bodiford now on the floor as his old teammate Tyrone Watson helps him up.
You see Tyrone Watson
making sure he's okay there.
Yeah. And Watson himself, he's been a mainstay in this community, in this area for a long time. Even when he's not around, you can kind of see his presence. A lot of people in this gym know who he is. Had conversations with him. You see, showing the humanity side of the game, I guess you could say.
Alex Johnson chucks one up from the three. The A's not having the best shooting night that they've had so far. Here's Antoine Mason now up to Cliff Klingscales.
Halifax did such a great job denying those open looks in the beginning that even now, you can almost feel that Orangeville's playing a little bit tight. They're feeling that they need to start making these shots no matter what. And usually when that happens is when you start missing consistently.
Oh, I see a huge Ty Watson face in the stands there.
There's Jefferson, a big part of this team's offense right now.
Great defense there by Rick Bodiford, picked up now by Antoine Mason. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Jamison Tipping gets his hand up there. With 1 second, it's not good, and that foul on the rebound is going to go to Ronaldo Dixon.
Stefan Nastich continuing to be Stefan Nasty. They're going to need a lot of nasty from him for the rest of this game, continuing to get
You get a good look here at the big Tyrone Watson face in the stand. Look at that, just staring down at Relier Jefferson. Gotta love that. The Hamilton native has his whole fam jam out here to watch the game tonight. 7 minutes and 11 seconds left to go in the third quarter. It's 71-56. Here's Jefferson going full speed ahead. Alex Johnson now 16 seconds on the clock. Set something up for this home team. Over to Bodiford. Bodiford drives middle, goes up and under. A veteran move by number 2 of Orangeville. Plus, he'll have a chance now at the charity stripe.
If you're gonna break your scoring drought, that's the way to do it, Kelsey. Attack the basket. If your jump shot's not falling, just continue to attack the basket until good things will happen, just like right there.
And in classic Bodiford style, nails the foul shot, brings the Orangeville A's now up to 59. Here's Washington going against Nastich. A beautiful spin move, tries to get it off the glass, just can't put it over those big arms of Nastich. He stands at 7 feet tall. Jamison Tipping has had a hot shooting night. That one doesn't fall, however, as Dixon brings it down.
That's a tough shot in transition there, especially catching it from that angle. You have to make sure that your feet are set before you release that shot. Just a tough look there, but great defense, though, makes up for it.
Tipping gets the steal there on Watson, and there's going to be a foul on Antoine Mason.
And Jamison Tipping, my goodness, doing a little bit of everything so far in this game, coming off the bench. He knows that he's going to have to work a little bit harder on defense than what he's used to. This is easily the most talented backcourt in the NBL, as you can see from such an impressive shooting display so far.
And Mike, as we say that, Mike Poole makes his way back onto the floor, one of the top scorers for this Halifax team.
Absolutely, inbound here going to be to Johnson.
17 seconds on the shot clock. Alex Johnson comes off a screen from Nastich. Re-attacks, passes it to Bodiford. Bodiford shucks it up from the three, just not having the shooting night any Orangeville Ace fan would hope for. Oh, it rims around 300 times. Bodiford finally cleans that one up.
There it is, Rick Bodiford being the leader of this team that he can be. One of the first 3 guys here for training camp, actually, at the beginning of the season. Rick Bodiford getting it done on the offensive end there. What a move.
Bodiford has been with Orangeville since the beginning of the franchise started when it was down in Brampton. And you can see how comfortable he is with this team, with these teammates, as he's able to get a couple offensive rebounds there and put it back up to bring the Orangeville A's now within 10 points of the Halifax Hurricanes.
Not just that, Kelsey. You want to see how much his teammates trust him. He's shooting 1 for 10 from the field right now. We'll make it 2 for 10 now. And 2 for 11, excuse me. And just the simple fact that they're still feeding him the ball. They still want him to take those shots. If he's open, he's letting it go. If he's missing, guys are patting him on the back saying, hey, you know what? Let it go. It's not a big deal. We're going to get ourselves back into this. And if Rick Bodiford, if even just half of these shots are following right now, this is a much closer game than what we're looking at, Kelsey.
Ryan, 5 minutes, 41 seconds left to go in this third quarter. 71-61 for the Orangeville A's. What is Coach Lazowski saying to his team right now?
Well, so far we are seeing a bit of an improvement on the defensive end, especially guarding the three-point shot. We're seeing guys not necessarily trying to crash guys as they go into the paint. They're allowing and trusting their teammates to play that one-on-one defense in the paint, as if Stefan Nastich has been doing. He's been a big part of that defensive effort. Guys are kind of leaning off now, denying the outside pass, denying the weak side, because that's what killed them so badly in that first half, getting those open three-point looks. So if they're able to just minimize Halifax's effectiveness from the three-point line and just continue to grind it out the way that they have in the paint here today, they're going to come away with not only a win, but a huge win for this team this season, one that's much needed, especially, I believe it'll be their first victory against an Atlantic Division team outside of the Cape Breton Highlanders.
This season.
Yes, this season. So that really, if I'm Coach Lazowski, I'm telling them, hey, great job in continuing to minimize the chances on the perimeter, but we have to make sure that we're taking care of our own glass. We're not giving them any second chances, because that's when they've been able to kick it back out for an open three, and that's really been hurting the Orangeville A's. And not only that, it demoralizes you as a team defensively when you've done all the right things, but just can't take care of the basketball itself. And when that goes up, morale drops. Here we are going back into this game here. 10-point lead for the Halifax Hurricanes. 5:41 to go here in the third quarter. It's going to be some free throws here as the Halifax will have a chance to extend their lead.
Ronaldo Dixon at the line now for the Halifax Hurricanes. Again, he is a Toronto native, played at New Mexico State for all 4 years, was a teammate of Tyrone Watson at one point. Now they get to play together again. He played in Europe in 2014 and has been with the Halifax Hurricanes since 2015. He played on that team that came in second in 2015, and he won the national championship of this league just last year.
Halifax doing what champions do, walking into some enemy territory, taking care of business so far. Orangeville just looking for a run really at this point. They just need that one big run to get themselves right back into this game going into the fourth. We'll see if they get it here.
Here's Bodiford up top. There's going to be a foul there on number 14 of Halifax, Antoine Mason. Kind of linked legs actually with Relier Jefferson. It was a weird looking foul there, and it's going to be Orangeville ball on the sideline.
I really think the reason that Mason ended up getting that foul was simply for the fact that Jefferson was the one who lost his balance. And it was right in front of the referee.
Here he is now again, pulls up for the long two. That one is good. Again, a 10-point lead.
Excellent shot by Jefferson there, full extension. That's a patented Jefferson jumper right there.
Here's Klingscale. Over to Antoine Mason, pulls up from the three. It is good for 3 points as he looks on to the Halifax fans. Plus, the foul will go to Jamison Tipping. He'll have a chance to make it a 4-point play.
And you want to talk about the, mettle or determination of this team. As we saw a great shot there by Jefferson, but Mason responding in kind.
Mason, the MAC all-rookie team when he was over in Niagara. You know, he reached the 2,000-point mark in just 2 years of play with Niagara.
You can play like that. If you can put the ball in the bucket like that, it's no surprise that he can come right back on the offensive end and and take it to Jefferson. And not only that, get a 4-point play above all else.
Here's Bodiford now. Bodiford known for his 4-point plays. That one just does not fall.
Unfortunately, Bodiford just not having his night here now. Make that 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. Still has 8 rebounds though. Still working hard.
Mason gets it into Dixon. Dixon going against Slim McGee now. He's going to be called with a traveling violation. One too many steps down low.
Referees, I mean, if there's one thing that they crack down on hard in this league, it's the travel calls.
It's all the fancy shoes out there. It makes it too easy to see your little feet getting happy.
I wouldn't say their feet are little, but
Rico DiLoretto makes his way back onto the floor for the Orangeville A's. Rick Bodiford will take a seat on the bench. Hopefully, Rico DiLoretto able to sink some of those open threes that Rick Bodiford has been seeing.
and oddly enough, DiLoretto, a fantastic 3-point shooter in his own right, hasn't even taken a shot in this game so far, despite being on the floor for some considerable minutes, especially in that second quarter. But he's going to have to find the spacing. And this once again goes back to the defensive awareness of this backcourt for the Halifax Hurricanes. They're so quick, they're so agile, they're such great communicators. This is a team that knows exactly what it is. And when you have a team that knows its identity, they know that defense is their identity. They're in the top 2 in the league in three-point defense. They're also the only team in the league holding their opponents to an average of under 100 points a game. And on top of that, their opponents are only shooting 32% from the 3-point line. I mean, that goes to show you just how well they cover the backcourt.
The Orangeville A's now are in bonus with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Ryan, when they got into bonus with about 3 minutes left to go in the second, they really used that to their advantage, hit the line at least 4 times in that last 3 minutes. Now they have it for 4 minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Nastich coming back in, as DiLoretto looks like he's going to get called for a hack there. But just really quickly, Kelsey, I wouldn't be surprised in the next minute if we see another sighting of Stefan Nastich, who's done such a fantastic job in this second half of really almost having his way, both offensively and defensively in the paint, either getting fouled or coming up with some big boards on the defensive end. We're looking at a replay here
I
of...
see the tail end of the foul. You didn't actually get to see the foul there. But here's Klingscale now. Gets it up to Poole. Poole, a beautiful pass into Dixon, but better defense by Alex Johnson as Jefferson looks to go all the way, tries to put it up off the glass as he's falling down. Just doesn't go, but he will get to the charity stripe now for 2 shots.
And Jefferson is probably one of the best showmen in this game, right on the same level as Mason when you see, you know, how well he can sell a call when he needs to. And while at the same time, he was able to keep his balance just enough to kind of get a shot off. But, you know, as a coach, you kind of hope to see him, yes, take the contact, maybe embellish it just a little bit, but make sure that you're also in line to finish the shot, especially when you have a clean look like Jefferson did at the rim there. But he does make up for it by sinking the first. See if he can sink the second now and keep the lead down to single digits here, Kelsey.
Jefferson, a Philadelphia native, went to Temple University where he averaged 8.9 points, 3.4 rebounds, has played in the D-League for Delaware 87ers since 2014. He's made a huge impact this year on the Orangeville A's.
Averaging 20, leading scorer.
There we go. Billy White back on the floor for Halifax, gets it out now to Antoine Mason. Mason turns the corner, tries to get the floater, but Slim McGee too long to get it over the rim.
Mason, excellent extension there, but McGee was with him every step of the way.
Great defense there by Halifax as Klingscales gets it over to Mason. Mason puts it up for 2 points.
That is an excellent play there by Klingscales. I mean, the patience there to let the play develop. See Mason open as soon as the defense sagged off him. Got the quick pass inside, easy bucket.
On the other end, though, Anderson goes up. It looked like it was going to be good. He just wasn't able to follow through. Here's Mason now, making it look easy on the other end.
And Mason, really, he had, you know, we had the perfect angle for that shot there, Kelsey. It looked like the Red Sea parted between the baseline and the defenders there. Nobody really picked up Mason as he was running full steam towards the net. And you just can't allow that when it's, especially when you see a team go on a run like that, or specifically a player with 4 quick points. You got to get in there and foul him at the very least.
Just over 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. 3 minutes and 1 second. It is a 13-point game here at Athlete Institute. 82-67. Guys, we'll be right back after this timeout.
And just also a quick reminder for people, upcoming home games we have here is Monday, February 20th, 3 p.m. Niagara River Lions in town, and then they're getting a rematch the following week on Sunday, February 26th, and of course, right after that, in March. The first game of March here at Athlete Institute, Windsor Express are in town.
DiLoretto now up top. 15 seconds on the shot clock. He sees the open lane, pulls up for the jumpy, just short. Zimmerman down with that one. Quickly over to Mike Poole now. It would be a 2 against 5 on that one. Good decision to bring it back out with 17 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Mason up top.
Well, Kelsey, when you have a 13-point lead, you want to start making the right decisions with the ball, especially going into the final quarter. Not allow any unnecessary runs here by the Orangeville A's.
Dixon adds another 3 points to his total tonight, having quite a showing here. I'm going to put in quotations at home. Here's Tipping now. Up top, pulls up for the long 2. Bounces around, but there is going to be a foul called. I think that one's going to go to Slim McGee of the Orangeville A's.
Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of that shot there by Tipping as he was hesitating. First of all, as a shooter, you don't want to hesitate. Second of all, when you have that kind of speed here, as we're watching the replay of the former 3 here. But once again, we're seeing the patience here of Halifax, just taking their time, no rush here, know they've got the lead. Find the shot back out.
Here's White now up top, over to Poole. Antoine Mason loses his shoe in the process. It's 4 on 5 right now as he puts it back in. Billy White gets blocked by Relier Jefferson. Antoine Mason loses the shoe, lets it stay behind as the other end, the Orangeville A's take a score.
Enrico DiLoretto, we just talked about him not getting involved in the offense, and there he is. A timely bucket, Kelsey. They're taking advantage of the fact that Halifax was really down a defender, or at least a defender and a half.
No double knot I noticed on that shoe when Antoine Mason tied them back up. So we'll be sure to keep an eye on those sneakers later on. Here's Zimmerman now bringing it up for the Halifax team. Under 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Great defense there by Jake Anderson, able to just poke it away, take 2 seconds off the shot clock here. Dixon over to Mason. Mason gets it over to Mike Poole. Poole looks to get it up to Billy White for the alley-oop, but it doesn't go. But he's able to find a wide open Dixon underneath for a dunk.
Kelsey, that is the importance right there of not giving up on a play. You can see Jefferson so upset there that his teammates had already assumed that Jefferson had possession of the ball, even though he was surrounded by blue shirts there, and Orangeville ended up paying the price.
Jamison Tipping goes up underneath, looks for the foul, no good, but Slim McGee is there to clean it up.
Slim McGee right there, the importance of staying active, and he's probably the most active guy on the floor here.
Under a minute left to go now. Here's Zimmerman, calls for a screen from Billy White. Turns the quarter, kicks it out to Mike Poole. Poole pulls back. That one's no good. McGee with a big rebound for this Orangeville A's team.
Great defensive stop by Orangeville. Those are the shots that you want Halifax to take every single trip up the floor. Something with a hand in the face.
Just strong.
Once again, though, unfortunately, the shooting woes continue for Orangeville, trying to get quick buckets here. If I were them, I really would want to kind of slow it down a little bit, at least just finish the quarter off on a good note, keeping the game relatively close. But instead now, Halifax is going to get a chance to extend their lead as a foul is now called on Jake Anderson. Halifax is going to get an opportunity to extend their lead going into this final quarter.
Ryan, you talked a lot about the woes, the shooting woes of this Orangeville A's team. At half, they were shooting 30. Halifax was shooting 50. It's even crazier now. The Orangeville A's shooting only 20% from the three-point line, and Halifax has amped it up to 55.5% from beyond the arc. Here's Billy White now, brings it out, gets it into Zimmerman. Jamison Tipping goes for the steal, a little too hard, a little too strong, gets knocked out of bounds, but it does take a few seconds off of the shot clock for this Halifax team, now only 9 seconds.
Very well said, and unfortunately, though, this is something we've been seeing consistently in the second half here, Kelsey, is Orangeville doing all the right things as when it comes to their energy on defense. They're just not getting the breaks, whether it's from the shots or whether it's getting a rebound and then kind of getting it knocked loose. As we go, 5 seconds remaining, DiLoretto's now going to get called for another foul on Mason.
Right, you even look at the field goal percentage between these two teams. Orangeville only shooting 36.9%. Halifax is shooting a very impressive 53.4% from everywhere on the floor.
And people watching at home, This is Orangeville shooting 36%. The average Halifax is allowing on their opponents is 32, so you can only imagine what it looks like on a
Jamison
consistent
tipping, if
night.
it's good, it goes. That one, no
Just
good
missed.
for the Orangeville native at the end of 3. It's 85-71. The Orangeville A's trail behind the national defending champions of the Halifax Hurricanes. Welcome back to A's TV. The last 12 minutes of this game you do not want to miss between the defending national champs Halifax Hurricanes and your home team, the Orangeville A's. Right now, Halifax leads 85-71 over Orangeville, but 12 minutes, Brian, we've said this a billion times, is a lot of basketball to play.
Absolutely, well said, Kelsey. I mean, we've seen leads way bigger than this disintegrate.
There we go,
in a matter
as
of
Dixon
moments.
gets called for the traveling violation. A good start for the Orangeville A's.
Yeah, absolutely, and once again, they've got the time. Time is in a way, it's on their side right now. They have time to get things done. They just have to take care of the ball on the offensive end.
Here's Jefferson, drives left, gets the foul call. He'll go to the line now for 2 shots. A great take for the Orangeville A.
Jefferson, that's something that we're going to need to see a lot more consistently here from the Orangeville A's, specifically Jefferson attacking the basket. It's clear, like if the three-point shot is not falling, you got to continue to attack the basket and allow your shooters to keep shooting as well, though. If they get that open look, don't be afraid, don't hesitate, let it go. And unfortunately, there's another miss at the free throw line. Can't afford to do that against the defending champs.
Zimmerman, a nice spin move there. Gets it in to Dixon. A big block there by Relier. Jefferson, he's going to look to go coast to coast, but there is a foul there, a little bit of a retaliation foul there on Zimmerman. And there's going to be Orangeville A's ball on the sideline as Tyrone Watson makes his way back onto the floor for the Halifax Hurricanes.
You can see Jefferson there as he was running down the floor, kind of swiped at his defender, and the defender, the referees, they always call that retaliation call, Kelsey, every single time. You're better off just continuing to try and play defense, because as soon as they see that swipe from you, especially the defender, it's an easy call for them.
Rico DiLoretto is going to take it out for this home team. I've said this probably on every broadcast, but he's the all-time leading scorer for Windsor University. And I'm going to continue saying it because it's extremely impressive. Here's Jake Anderson now from the 3. Off the backboard there, there's a foul.
Looks like it's going to be on Dixon, possibly?
Slim McGee.
Oh,
one.
McGee was the
Another
one.
rebounding foul on Slim McGee. That's his 3rd foul so far in this game. 11-11 left to go on the clock.
He's got to make sure that he's keeping his hands in his pockets at times here because they're going to need him down the stretch.
Haywood tries to get it over to Zimmerman. A fun fact about Haywood, actually, he has played in the NBL for quite a long time and has a big, huge stat line to go with it. He's also king handles. If you watch the Nordic League, kind of Canada's and one mixtape, that's king handles there. You are not dreaming about that one. So a couple fun players that I'd like to see some tricks from.
Absolutely, yeah, between the Globetrotters and King Handles. There's a nice find there, though, by Zimmerman on the inside. And once again, catching the defenders out of rotation. Jefferson and McGee were looking at each other going, I thought you had him. And they had no choice but to both foul him.
And that one is going to go to Slim McGee, Ryan. That's his 4th now in the game. Just under 11 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. They don't want to lose the big body and big heart that Slim McGee brings to the game. But, I mean, he's only got 2 more to give.
Absolutely, and it's so important here that Orangeville takes care of their bigs because they're going to be a huge factor if they're going to make a run back in this game. They have to take care of the paint. More importantly, though, so far, they've done a good job in this second half taking care of the perimeter.
Slim McGee, this is the 2nd or 3rd time he's had the ball just ripped from his hands after a rebound, but it does go right out of bounds off of Halifax Hurricanes. It's going to be Orangeville ball on the baseline.
There's one thing I'd like to bring up here, Kelsey, very quickly is when McGee came down with that ball, who was letting him know that there was a guy behind him? You know, you still need to have that communication. Obviously, it's a very loud gym. The crowd can get into it, but you still have to be able to talk to your teammates and let them know what's going on. And unfortunately, right there, none of his teammates were there to show McGee that there was a guy right there to rip the ball from him.
Here's Anderson now, gets it up to Relier. Jefferson off the backboard. He rolls his eyes. It is banked in, but doesn't matter. Good for 3 points.
Jefferson will take that every day.
Watson now picks up his dribble, gets it over to Zimmerman. Zimmerman, a little pump fake. Now he's trying to back out Jake Anderson. A behind the back pass is right out of bounds to absolutely no one. Orangeville ball now.
Zimmerman definitely expecting Dixon to roll out there to take a 3-point shot, but Dixon was really just waiting for Zimmerman to set something up. And of course, lines of communication got crossed there.
Anderson turns the corner, kicks it out to DiLoretto. DiLoretto now pulls up from the 3.
That's a tough shot, Kelsey.
Just short.
That is a tough shot. You got to be able to move the ball around a little bit more consistently than that. That's a big reason why Halifax has done such a great job guarding the 3 today.
Mike Poole, short. Slim McGee comes down with another rebound. Stefan Nastich is going to make his way onto the court at the next stoppage of play.
And DiLoretto, what a finish there, though, making up for it the very next run. And once again, DiLoretto, a very underrated player when he attacks the rim. We've seen a few times here where guys will just assume he's going to try and take that 3, and they underestimate his quickness, and you see him have finishes like that at the rim. That is not the first time we've seen that this season, Kelsey.
I mean, DiLoretto has played in this league before. He played with the London Lightning in 2014. He's played pro. He's an OUA West first-team All-Star. He's not someone who just came on to the A's out of nowhere, but people seem to treat him like that sometimes, and you're exactly right. He's come onto this team and made a big impact from their bench.
Oh, absolutely, and if you give DiLoretto an open look, consistently, he's shown he can knock him down, and not just at the line. We've seen him hit some deep shots in this gym. And once again, you know, talking towards, there's a guy who at one point he was playing in Italy. I mean, he's a very well-traveled player. He's incredibly intelligent. And, you know, we've done interviews side by side. He's only as big as I am right now, standing at about 6'1" with his shoes on. So when you see a guy that's as crafty as he is, but also fearless attacking the rim like that.
Crafty.
Yes, very crafty. And when you can attack the rim like that, though, with a guy with his kind of confidence, it can help you. It's important to have those kind of guys coming off the bench for you. And the Orangeville A's depth has been very important so far in this season.
Ryan, we're looking now into the timeout of the Halifax Hurricanes. What's their head coach saying to them right now? Only up by 9 points.
Take care of the shots, or excuse me, take care of the shot clock really more than anything. Find your spots, find your positions. We're seeing now that they're turning up the heat on us on the perimeter. We got to make sure that we're finding it inside. And if you have that open 3, take it. We've been making it all day. There's no reason for us to abandon that strategy now when we've been consistently holding a double-digit lead for most of this game.
9 minutes, 37 seconds left to go in this game. It is only a 9-point game right now here at Athlete Institute.
Orangeville trying to shock the world, if you will, or at least shock the league.
Here's Haywood now bringing it up for the Halifax Hurricanes. He is a 2-time NBL Canadian All-Canada team. I mean, we could go on and on about his all-defensive second team, NBA second team, or NBL, excuse me. Here's Mike Poole just off the back as Nastich grabs that rebound. Welcome back to the floor, big man.
And I'll just say that right now, Kelsey, that's as good of a defensive set as you could ask for from the Orangeville A's, denying every open shot at the three-point line. And now here's Jamison Tipping being aggressive, moving towards the basket, being decisive in his movements, getting called. Then you get the foul call that's going your way against you.
Not a foul call.
Oh,
8-second call in the backcourt there. Didn't get it over half in time.
That's why you got to be more decisive.
Great defense there by the Halifax Hurricanes. They get the possession now with just over 9 minutes left to go. And here's Zimmerman up top. Gets it into Ty Watson. Watson so comfortable in this gym. Catches and turns around shot just short. Here's Anderson now. Gets it out to Delaretto with no hesitation. He puts that one up and it is just long.
There's a hand in the face of every shooter. A much needed foul there.
There's going to be a travel call before that slap that I'm sure you heard from at home, but a few too many steps before he was snaped underneath.
Once again, the travel calls.
It's going to be Orangeville A's ball now. First, let's take a look at that travel. You can see he takes that one step right as he catches the ball, and you can't take that step. That's got to be before you catch it. So now on the other end, here's Jefferson. Kicks it out to Tipping. Tipping likes that corner as well, and you can see why. Nothing but net.
Excellent shot there from Jamison Tipping. Excellent setup in the corner there. Move off the screen. No doubt about it. Lets it fly.
We have said this so many times, Ryan. 12 minutes is a long time to play, and now only a 6-point lead the Halifax Hurricanes have. Ty Watson with the floater that he's been so great at pretty much since college. That one just doesn't fall. And now we talk about momentum police, Ryan, who just stole it.
It is.
Ty Watson comes down with the rebound.
They need another stop here. This is big.
Haywood now out to Zimmerman. Zimmerman gets it over to Ty Watson. Watson
Once
back
again.
over to Haywood, and you can see why he has such a long list of NBL credits behind his name. He sinks that one for 3 points.
One thing the Orangeville A's definitely need to start doing on defense is trusting each other defensively on their matchups. If the help comes in, what has happened every single time? The man has been open for the three, as Delaretto puts up a tough shot there.
I think that was just a pass into Revere Jefferson. Give him the
We'll call it a
assist on that
pass.
one.
Why not?
Jefferson cleans it up for 2 points, brings it now within 7.
All right, we'll see here if Orangeville can't get drawn in to the kick out.
Haywood loses it there, but cleaned up now by Tyrone Watson. Kicks it out to Mike Poole. Poole with another three-pointer.
The exact same play happens one more time. Drive it in, kick it out. Drive it in, kick it out. Halifax, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There's going to be a foul there on Mike Poole as Jamison Tipping playing the one right now for the Orangeville A's, but Alex Johnson is going to make his way back onto the floor now and not have to put Tipping in that situation.
No, not at all. And really, once again, he's going to be going in for Enrico Delaretto, Alex Johnson is. And they just need that kind of consistency and leadership pushing the ball up the floor here. We'll see if it makes an effect here. 10-point lead once again for the Halifax Hurricanes.
Just under 7 minutes left to go. Raleigh Jefferson finds himself open. It's just long, but he's able to get his own offensive rebound. There's going to be a shot clock reset there. It wasn't reset after that first shot, so the Orangeville A's will get it back on the sideline. The shot clock will be reset now to 24 seconds.
And Kelsey,
12 seconds, excuse me.
Well, there you go. It was a 12-second difference. But I like that. That's kind of a break here for the Orangeville A's. Get an opportunity to kind of, because it looked like from that angle, they didn't necessarily know exactly where they wanted to go from there as they got the offensive board. So now they'll have a chance to either kind of draw something up or call something. Get an open look for yourself. Get yourself involved in the offensive rhythm again. Stop trying to play catch-up every single time Halifax goes on a run. If you take care of the defense, the offense, it's going to take care of itself. You're going to be more confident in what you're doing.
Well said, Ryan. I think Coach Lasowski is kind of arguing the 12 seconds because, I mean, Raleigh Jefferson grabbed his own rebound and the whistle was blown, so it should be probably more up to, yeah, they're going to change it to 22 now. You can see that on the score shot. So a great point made by Coach Lasovsky. It's going to be 22 seconds on the shot clock. Orangeville A's ball on the sideline opposite their bench.
Yeah, exactly. When you grab your own rebound, usually it kind of goes back up to 24.
And a little malfunction here with the game clock. It's up to 0 right now, but it should be 6:51. There we go. They have fixed it. And finally, Jamison Tipping has sat down in the bleachers. He's back up, ready to play the last 6 minutes, 51 seconds of this game. Here's Johnson. 19 seconds on the shot clock now. Johnson drives, picks up his dribble, gets it over to Nastich now. Nastich on the left-hand lane, tries to go up. Big rebound by Watson.
And Nastich, unfortunately, just didn't go strong enough there. Didn't create enough contact to get a clean shot off, and the defender's hand was right there. Great defense.
Watson turns the corner. Great defense by Relier Jefferson, having quite the night tonight. Gets it out to point guard Alex Johnson.
They need a bucket here. That was a gift.
Jamison Tipping from beyond the arc. It's nothing but net for 3 in the face of Billy White.
That's a deep shot, and that's a clutch shot there from Jamison Tipping.
Watch here as Jamison Tipping just launches from beyond the arc on the other end. It's going to be a foul, though, on Relier Jefferson. Mason will go to the line now for 2 shots.
And here it is. Look back one more time, finding a trailing Tipping. Catches it in rhythm, lets it fly, and that's a shot that he practices every single day before games. You come in here 2-3 hours before the game. Jamison Tipping's out here working with the coaches, getting his shots off. And that's just straight practice right there, Kelsey. That's hours in the gym to be confident enough to take that shot with someone flying at you like that.
Timeout called on the floor. Just over 6 minutes left to go in the game. Relier Jefferson still wondering about that foul call here as he talks to Augie, the referee, at half. But they are trailing just by 7, 92-85. Guys, we'll be right back. Welcome back to A's TV now. It's Antoine Mason at the line with 6:03 left to go in this game. If you're wondering, Antoine Mason, yes, he has an older brother, Anthony Jr., and yes, he is the son of the late and great NBA All-Star. He nails the first one.
Mason, a very talented player. He's made some big shots for the Hurricanes in this game, made some big shots all season.
Including 2 foul shots right here to bring it back up to a 9-point lead.
Halifax, they have plenty of experience in these close games here. Just find ways to win every time.
Yeah, just 2 days ago, here in the Central Division, they won against KW 102-100, a high-scoring game, and once again, a very close one as the Orangeville A's answer that bucket.
Here's Nastich. Great defense and a great bucket there on the other end.
Mason comes off a screen. An easy switch for the Orangeville A's. He looks to drive again, puts up the jumper, it's no good. And Relier Jefferson there to pick it up now, just under 5.5 minutes left to go. Here's Jefferson. Makes himself wide open on the 45, it won't go, but Daniel Tulloch rebounds, gets it back to Jefferson now for the 2.
And that's it, that extra effort right there, Kelsey. Taking a difficult shot, Jefferson did, but his teammates bailing him out there by showing the hustle, getting the loose ball, and Jefferson being aware enough that he can still crash the net and get an easy bucket.
The Orangeville A's need a stop here now. It's a 5-point game with under 5 to go. And there you go, Nastich picks it up. Alex Johnson on the other end. 22 seconds on the shot clock, gets it over to Jamison Tipping. Tipping over to Jefferson. He's feeling it right now. It's good for 3 points plus the foul line. He'll go to the charity stripe now to make it a 4-point play. The Orangeville A's only down by 2 points now. Take another look at this one from Jamison Tipping all the way over to Jefferson. And the foul right on the arm as he goes down. He's now at the line for 1.
Excellent shot there by Jefferson, and a great setup there by Orangeville. The importance of moving the ball around the perimeter. So when you see, really, that was what really led up to that play in the first place, is seeing the ball movement tipping over to Johnson. Johnson hesitating, defender coming out, trying to create the hedge there, but in doing so, allowed Jefferson to be wide open in the corner, finds it, and Jefferson, he's gonna knock that shot down every time when he's gotten enough shots up in a game like this.
A 1-point game here now at Athlete Institute. The crowd loving it. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. Here's Billy White in the corner. Gets it up to Ty Watson. Watson loses it, but it's off the arms of Daniel Tulloch. Still, a great possession to stop Ty Watson's momentum going forward with 9 seconds left to go on the shot clock.
Well said, Kelsey, and just to add on to that, really, Watson dribbling the basketball just a little bit too hard when he came in, and he was lucky there to not be called for even a double dribble if he had held possession of it, because it did look like he went down and back up with both hands.
That's kind of his shtick. He's done that even last year when he played for the Orangeville A's. He likes that big, strong dribble there as Haywood chucks one in for 2 points. It's now a 3-point game.
Here we go. Halifax, they live for games like this, though. A lot of their wins have came with 5 points or less in the final seconds.
There we go. Nastich is called for the illegal screen there. They lose the possession, down 3. They need to get a stop here to keep it within 1 possession, Ryan, heading into the 4-minute mark of this game. Here's Billy White now. Over to Mason. There's going to be a foul called on the ground. Jamison Tipping called with that one. It's just going to be possession on the sideline.
So again, now the whistle's getting a little bit tighter as the game draws to a close. Guys are going to be held a little bit to a higher standard here.
Mike Poole coming onto the floor now for Tyrone Watson as Billy White takes it out in front of his bench. A big 7-foot defender in front of him, stopping any chance of getting that ball in. That one tipped out by Alex Johnson. It's going to stay with the Halifax Hurricanes.
Just a quick look there right in front of the announcer's table here.
We get into the action a little bit.
Of course.
Here's Billy White once again. Easily gets it into Dixon now as Haywood gets the handoff up top. 4 minutes to go in the game. Still a 3-point game. Poole into White. White looking to back down Nastich. He spins around. It's tipped in by Dixon.
It's one of those occasions there where you got to look to box out your man first, then go for the ball. Unfortunately, Nastich didn't do that. Easy bucket there for Dixon.
Alex Johnson, a great take by the Orangeville A. The smallest guy out there able to get a bump and up. Now he's going to go to the line now for 2 shots.
You say one thing with Alex Johnson, it's sometimes you kind of worry about his fatigue near the end of games, hence why he maybe only be shooting 60% from the free throw line this season.
But with moves like that where you can see his kind of momentum take him, his kind of heart and will to want it, they don't call him Superman for nothing.
No, not at all.
It's the adrenaline that has all these guys running so far. Orangeville
right.
not with a big bench right now. A couple injuries have kind of plagued their lineup so far this game.
I think they only have 4 active guys on the bench right now.
There we go. Billy White now on the other end.
Great.
A great little alley-oop up to Ronaldo Dixon. I don't think it was supposed to be an alley-oop, but we're going to give it to him.
That's, once again, when guys get tired, they stop watching their players. They stop watching the guys they're guarding, and they start watching the ball. And once again, another perfect example of that. Open shot.
Jefferson gets it out to Tipping. Tipping over to Tulloch. Tulloch now goes up.
That's
a
a bad
big
decision.
block by Billy White.
He had Nastich wide open down low.
That one is going to be off Alex Johnson. Great defense there by the Orangeville A. Let's take another look at this one. Puts it up right over. I think that was a shot as Ronaldo Dixon just jams it in. On the other end now, it is Halifax ball on the baseline. Here's Haywood. Over to Mason up top. Antoine Mason over to Mike Poole. The quick release three from Poole is no good. And it's Alex Johnson now for the Orangeville A's. Just under 2:45 left to go in the game. Still a 5-point game.
There's a fine bad giveaway there. That's costly.
This team is too athletic for those kind of lollipop passes into the post. And Billy White shows you why with a quick jam on the other end for 2 points, making it a 7-point game now, 102-95, just over 2.5 minutes left to go in the game.
Absolutely, Kelsey. We want to talk about really quickly here in this timeout, just the Halifax just showing why they are a championship team. Anytime Orangeville's getting within 2 to 3 points, they just come back and they just will the ball into the basket, really, more than anything, Kelsey. Very, very impressive display here from a veteran team. When you also add in the fact as well that, you know, let's take it back to that offensive play very quickly for the Orangeville A's. Before that pass even happened, right at the very beginning of the pass, we saw Relir Hollis Jefferson cutting to the basket, but Alex Johnson had his head down when he was dribbling up, didn't see the cut to the basket, and I guarantee you if he was able to find Jefferson on that initial pass, on that quick pass as Jefferson was cutting in, he was either going to get met at the rim and fouled, or it would have been a bucket for him. And it really, once again, it's just the importance of keeping your head up, seeing who's available at any given moment. It's okay to push the ball if you see that there's an option there. I think sometimes guys kind of stop and try and be too careful, and then they end up not creating anything of it anyway, and it ends up just being a demoralizing trip up the floor. Sometimes you got to be keeping your head up. Sometimes you got to be making sure that there's going to be a quick option there if it's there. Maybe even give Halifax a taste of their own medicine, which is something that Halifax did exquisitely for the first 3 quarters of this game. They were playing with their head up. They would do quick passes. They would have quick buckets if they needed them. And with all of that being said, Orangeville, they've just got to they got to have that killer instinct, basically, is what I'm trying to say, Kelsey.
I think the big thing, Ryan, and I agree, I think the big thing is that they need to start driving again and doing what's working for them. In the second and third quarters, they got into a bonus situation way before the time that we're seeing now, 2 minutes and 33 seconds. In the third, or in the second, they were in bonus by 3 minutes. In the third, they were in bonus by 4 minutes, and now neither team in bonus here. They got to start driving and doing what works for them. They're great on the foul line, maybe not as great as they can be tonight, but I mean, still great on the foul line. They need to start shooting those foul shots.
And to build on your point as well, when you have a team that is able to attack the basket the way that Orangeville has during that second half, you're going to put the other team in foul trouble, and you're going to be taking some of their better players off the floor if you can. Yeah,
with a team that's so athletic, especially Billy White is out there. He's got 4 or 5 fouls right now. And now you got to drive, stop strong, because these guys can block. Get a little pump fake up there, get them off their feet, go up, get the fouls. They're 2 fouls away now from being in bonus. So, I mean, they still got some to give. 2 minutes, 33 seconds left to go. It's a 7-point game, 102-95. Orangeville ball on the baseline.
And you're looking at really Orangeville here as they got an opportunity on their offense. You've got to keep moving the ball. And when you settle for jump shots, you're really not making your opponent's defense work that hard. All they have to do is just stay with you. But when you drive and attack the basket and you get physical, that can be exhausting for a defender.
Exhausting also because although Halifax has a deeper bench, they're still playing only 6 or 7 guys right now when it comes down to the stretch. So guys, both on the Orangeville A's who don't have quite the lineup on their bench with healthy players, still are just as tired as someone on Halifax, like Mike Poole. Mike Poole hasn't really sat off this entire quarter. Same goes for Mason. Same goes for Billy White and for Dixon, actually. Dixon hasn't sat off this entire second quarter, or second half, excuse me.
It's well said, Kelsey. As we're sitting here trying to figure out what was taking so long at the scorers table there with the referee.
It's Orangeville A's ball now on the baseline to get it into Alex Johnson. Just under 2 minutes left to go now. Orangeville gonna have to get a score and a stop, and that will be the story for the rest of the game as Jamison Tipping gets it into Nastich. A wide open Nastich off the glass for 2. The crowd loves it.
Nasty's gonna have to be that all night here, getting into that paint, finishing consistently. 5-point lead now. Big stop needed.
Here's Mike Poole. Gets it to Mason. Mason now up top. Feeds it into the big man, Billy White, down low. Quite a matchup between Billy White and Stefan Nastich. Picks up his dribble, moves it back out to Mason now. Looks like he kicked Jamison Tipping right in the nomads there as he went up for the 3. No good though. Jamison Tipping toughs it up, gets back onto the court now. Here's Alex Johnson from the 3. Could be a big one. Oh, just rattles out.
This is it. Once again, another big stop is needed here. We'll see if Orangeville has it in them.
Here's Billy White down low, looking to take on Stefan Nastich. There's going to be a charging foul on Billy White. Great defense there by Stefan Nastich.
Nastich doing everything right, and the Stanford graduate showing his ability there. He can play the brain game too, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's going to be the 6th and ejecting foul for Billy White. He is out of the game. Tyrone Watson will make his way back onto the floor now for the 6th foul there by Billy White. There's going to be a quick timeout on the floor now, just to get the substitution in now for this team. Billy White will end the game with just 6 points. Ryan, I mean, as the leading scorer and leading rebounder for this team, ending the game with 6 points, he was kind of in foul trouble right from that first quarter.
Yes, he was. Right from the very beginning, you could see the frustration kind of pouring over his face from the start of this game. But once again, Nastich doing exactly what he needs to do. Very heads-up play there by the big man. They're going to give it back to him.
Nastich with a beautiful hook shot from the baseline. The Halifax coach saying it was a travel from here. It looked absolutely beautiful. Put that on his highlight reel.
Here we go, big stop.
Dixon gets himself wide open, and it just goes in. Just under a minute left to go. 59.9 seconds on the clock, 104-99. It is the Orangeville A's possession now. They're going to need to get a bucket here and another stop. Keep feeding Nastich. Here's Alex Johnson. He turns the corner, finds the open left-hand lane, and a huge block there by Ronaldo Dixon, but it's going to be called a
goaltending. That's a goaltend. He got up there, though. Very impressive feat of athleticism there, but just a little bit too high, Kelsey.
I guess so, just a little bit too high. It looked like a wonderful block there, but there's going to be a substitution here. Daniel Tulloch comes out for the Orangeville A's, and Rick Bodiford makes his way back in. 24 seconds on the shot clock. It's a 3-point game here. The Orangeville A's are behind the Halifax Hurricanes. It's their possession now. Room for 2 possessions now in the the last 40 seconds here of the game. Ty Watson off the foot of Rolear Jefferson. It's gonna get reset. The shot clock was at 12. It'll be reset now to 14, and it's Halifax ball on the baseline. 34.4 on the clock. Haywood brings it out for Halifax into Poole. Poole over to Mason. 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Mason finds Ty Watt. Ty Watson goes up. Rolear Jefferson is going to get that foul. It looked a lot harder than it was, but he kind of connected with him, stayed with him as he fell to try and help him back up while he was falling.
It was a necessary call there, necessary foul if looking at a situation here. And once again, you know, they'll live with that with Tyrone Watson. Watson, a so-so free throw shooter. Watson's actually, but tonight he's 3 for 3, so I mean.
Make that 4 for 4. He's comfortable in this gym, Ryan. Again, he was here last year, and he's showing.
He was a big part of that team's.
He was a huge part of that team last year. I mean, he was averaging 16.8 points on the Orangeville A's last year.
Yep, came in midway through the season, helped this team who was going through a bit of a tougher season last year, but really was, once he was picked up, was a part of a couple of really big wins for this organization. And you know, the fans, they like him here. He's a very approachable guy. You know, you see him around the city as well. He's out. You'll see him out in the Crown League every summer as well, playing alongside players like Amir Johnson and Brady Heslip and Andrew Nicholson. A lot of NBA talent there, and he blends in perfectly with those guys. You see the skill level of this league when you see guys like that mixing it up with NBA talent and really not looking out of place at all.
He's got cool shoes too, if that matters.
Well said. Well said.
22 seconds now on the clock. About a 0.7 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Alex Johnson pulls up for the three. That was a necessary three. You got to get a three off, and there's a foul quickly underneath. The Halifax Hurricanes will come back the other way to shoot their bonus.
They shoot the bonus here. This could ice it, unfortunately, Kelsey, and a heck of an effort there from the Orangeville A's in this fourth quarter to keep it close, but every single time they got to within about 2 points, it just always seemed like Halifax had a response, and really that's the makeup of a championship team.
Antoine Mason at the line now for the Halifax Hurricanes. It's almost out of reach. Two foul shots here could make it completely done now with 10.9 on the clock.
Rolls in the first one. That's a six, still a two-possession game though.
That's what I mean. One more could really ice it here for the Orangeville A's. Mason now at the line. Just the sound of the cheerleaders' pom-poms in the gym. He puts it up, and that one is good now. 108 to 101, a 7-point game as Mike Poole steals it. That's going to be the end of the game. You can see here 6 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to take it out. Classy move here by the Halifax Hurricanes. They move on now to a 16-3 record. The Orangeville A's now a 4-game losing streak, move to 7-10 in the season.
Unfortunately, this is an unfortunate turn of events and results for the Orangeville A's, but once again, a lot of fight, a lot of heart, trying to defend their home floor against the championship team. Defending champs Halifax showing exactly why, coming in, taking care of business, killing it from the perimeter, taking care of Orangeville. Orangeville's shooting woes was a big reason in that first half why they weren't able to really make the full comeback, and also a little bit of inconsistency from the free throw line is also another reason why Halifax was able to pull this out. They just made fewer mistakes than Orangeville, and they brought it to them for all 48 minutes of this game.
Ryan, at the end of this one, the field goal percentage and the three-point percentage is what is going to do it for these two teams. Field goal percentage, Halifax shot 50% from the field. Orangeville just shooting 38. And the three-point percentage is what iced it for this team. Halifax shot 57% from the three. They shot better from the three than they did from the from the field goal in general. Orangeville only shooting 27%, not the night that they usually have here at home.
No, not at all, especially when you add in the fact, really, they just not enough kick and drive, not enough ball movement around the perimeter, and really that also goes kudos to Halifax's defense. So long, so a part of what they do really is just that tough defense, and we've said it so many times. It's an old basketball cliche, defense wins championships, but that's proof right there. Holding their opponents, averaging 32%. Orangeville actually shooting a little bit better than that today, but still, of course, not nearly close enough to pull out the win.
Another thing that kind of stands out is bench scoring. The Halifax Hurricanes, 44 points off from their bench. The Orangeville A's, only 25, and that's including Jamison Tipping's 15 points from that bench. Guys, we'll take a look now at the highlights of this game. At the end of it, 108 to 101, the Halifax Hurricanes continue their win streak here in the NBL Canada. The Orangeville A's fall. Stefan, we have you here after a 7-point loss, 108 to 101 to the defending champs here in Halifax. You guys are now on a 4-game losing streak. What's going to happen tomorrow when you play again here at home? What are you guys going to need to do?
We're just going to have to come together that much stronger and really bounce back, really focus in and try and play together and come out stronger defensively.
All right, as the big man, the new man coming in, Justin Moss is out, so you're really the only 5 out there right now. You had 20 and 8 tonight. How did you feel?
Felt well. It was a good game and just playing as hard as I could.
The thing that we noticed kind of in this broadcast here, you guys only shot, not you, because you're not really a three-point shooter. You had a couple out there. Your team scored or was shooting 27% from beyond the arc, which is not like your team at all. Halifax shooting 57% from the three-point line. Would you say that was the cause?
That's a big factor for sure. Just trying to get easier shots to make simpler play. and defensively we got to do a lot better.
You do, but the defense wasn't the issue so far stats-wise. I know it wasn't probably how you ideally was. 108 points is not ideal. Tomorrow, what are the 3 big things that you're going to need to work on to get that W against Niagara?
Defense, defense, defense.
Defense, defense, defense. As simple as that. Guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow, Niagara. The Orangeville A's will take them on here. They're going to be wearing their pink jerseys once again for Anti-Bullying Family Day night here at Atherton Institute. Again, thank you so much for talking with us. We'll see you tomorrow.